Hi, I'm Selena.
I'm Kayla.
And I'm Sade, and we are
Fave 3.
Thanks, guys, so much for tuning in to another episode of Raw. We'll be filling you guys in on some raw, uncut shit. So, no need to go around the elephant in the room, which is considered
For the world.
The elephant in the world. What is going on, America, with this fucking violence? Like, I really just don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't see why it's necessary, why it's called for. Like, it's just honestly ridiculous.
I just feel like it's just it's such a tragedy. Like, nobody should be going through this. We've been past all that. Like, leave it back in 1960s. It was resolved back then. Why is it being brought up now?
Not to cut you off, but just to give our viewers kind of like an insight, even though some of them would know, some
just
of them
pisses
probably
me
don't know.
off.
But what exactly is it that you guys are referring to?
Well, recently, what has been going on was, as everyone knows, the shootings with the police officer shooting Mr. Alton Sterling, as well as Philando Castile.
Okay.
Yes, we do send our condolences to the family of those who were, involved in this tragedy.
And his friends that knew them.
Definitely. It was very tragic. So pretty much today we're just going to touch on that topic because it really hurt us, and it's really something that needs to be touched on, and everybody needs to know how like what's going on and be aware of like everything going on in the world. Like, how do you guys feel about what's been going on recently?
Well, besides the two that you just shouted out because they're so recent, this happens all the time. Just not all of them are broadcasted. Mm-hmm. And also there's some that happen that the news just doesn't feel like is important enough. Exactly. And I feel like there's also times where it occur and the news don't like post it up, but they won't tell the story because they're like, oh, another cop killed somebody. Right. Let's not put this one out.
Let's not put it up until the next one shows up. Like, no.
So I feel like the only reason that these two cases were so like public as they were is because the amount of proof that came with it, and the fact that her video, I actually didn't even like realize until a few days later that she didn't just post a video. It was like a live stream
on Facebook.
Like how, yeah, what's that app?
Periscope.
Yes, it's like pretty much she was on Periscope, but for Facebook. Mm-hmm. So her shit was live, like
it was.
And that's why
at that moment in time, that's the crazy part.
That, like as she was recording, why didn't officers probably? I was thinking, what if one of the officers would have told her to put her phone down, or what if, regardless, it was gonna be seen because as she recorded, it was posted. So it was just like that was one of the smartest things that she could have did that.
And I'm glad that they even like didn't even take the phone away from her. Like she was lit, like she was able to hide it and still get them to like show proof as to what was going on right then and there.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's just like for those of you guys, like we did it, like most of you guys hopefully did your research on these cases. You're not just saying, oh my gosh, well, Black Lives Matter, justice. No, like the situation with Alton Sterling is absolutely disgusting. Just to jump back to that really quick. Quick summary, everyone knows he was killed in a gas station. I watched that video once, and I swear I did not want to watch it again because to me, I was like, bro, like, this is just so sad. It's so tragic. It's so uncalled for. Like, the man is hard down, already on the ground. Like, he's already on the floor. There's no need for you to be any more extra than you're already being to him. And he's restrained. Like, one officer has one arm.
Like, he's a big guy, but he doesn't need both of y'all on top of him. Like, he's not doing the most to have you guys, oh, let me tackle this man and jump on him so that way he doesn't do nothing. The man's not even moving.
With police officers that I notice about
like,
them,
that's
like,
shit
you
that
have to
pisses me
think
off.
these are people who get into this field because they like action. They like, like...
They want to save their country.
Yeah,
okay.
I want to help my people.
No, you
They want to
don't.
help that. And I feel like they also, like, they like their adrenaline rush. They like all that.
You think you got the juice because you have a gun in your pocket?
No.
And I've seen cases before, like, literally, where it happens, like, local as shit. I was outside, and these boys, like, there's this bus stop that's right in front of my house, like, for school. And I guess somebody called the police on the school kids. The police officers came and was hard down, like, had his neck in the little boy's neck.
No. For what?
And, I mean, not his neck, he had his knee in the little boy's neck. And I'm not gonna call him a little boy, he's probably like 15, 16, because he was in high school, so he was like in the 9th grade. But still, regardless of what he did,
like, you don't need to do that.
You're a grown man. Your force is gonna beat his off rip. Like,
and I feel like
you in the gym, you eating good, you probably on your protein shakes. Like, nigga, you got energy. Like, your force
and they're
is
trained
going to
like, you know, do this and whatever in their academy. That's fine. You can be trained to do it, but learn when to do it, when not to do it. Like, we understand that you're doing your job as a quote unquote police officer, but at the same time, you're trying to fix or resolve a situation that potentially was being like whatever, a tragedy to the community. Like, whatever that person was doing, you did not have to necessarily
just the situation worse.
Exactly. You did not have to just do all of that. Like, I remember in high school, I seen a police officer, Officer Callahan. I'm gonna put your name out there because nobody fucked with you at our school. And he dead ass, like, I seen this man. The man was riding on a scooter, and he was just like, "Oh, stop riding the scooter on school property." Why? The man was literally just riding down his scooter on the school property, going the fuck home. And the man literally chased after this boy, dropped him on his fucking head. I told you not to get. I told you to get off the fucking scooter. The man heard you. He was getting off the fucking scooter. Like, what you gotta do all of that for?
Bro, to be honest,
that shit pisses me the fuck
I feel like some officers nowadays can't wait for an opportunity like that because they feel like, oh, this is my moment. Oh, look at this black guy. Like, let me try to take him out. I can do this because I know I'm gonna get away with it. You know, like, I feel like now, like, okay, I don't know if you guys realize this, but the Alton Sterling situation happened, and the very next day, this other situation happened. Therefore, that police officer who did that
was very well aware of.
Exactly. And the fact that I feel like all of these past experiences and all these past issues, all these officers got scot-free, clean away with it. That's how I feel sometimes. Like, I feel like some officers do certain things because they know that they're not going to get in trouble for
it. What's really pissing me off is, like, there's people out there who don't even, like, all these children that are getting killed by these police officers, they have families, you know, and all these families are just trying to have justice, and nobody wants to fix the situation. That's why everybody's upset, because, yeah, it's involving with the racism and everything like that, but nobody's putting a stop to it. They're just letting it continue or bringing back old situations. Okay, you're bringing back up to this and that, to the Trayvon Martin situation, the Eric Gardner situation. Like, okay, those situations happens, but did it resolve anything? Clearly not. Absolutely because look what's going on now. Like, that just pisses me off.
And it's crazy you mentioned that the victims have families, because when the Trayvon Martin case was going on and George Zimmerman was on trial, their biggest defense was his family's gonna miss him. He's a good family man. He's this, he's that.
How is Trayvon
So why'd you shoot him?
Exactly. I'm pretty sure they're like, one of the hardest things, which I've heard, I can't say because I haven't been in this situation, one of the hardest things is to bury your child. So how do you think they feel? How do you think his family, his friends feel? Like, it was like, how do you think all the kids in
little
his
boy,
right? The kids that were in his class, his best friend, his girlfriend, like everybody. And I think they don't even think that far. But to think realistically speaking, as like a person or a victim,
an outsider,
facts in front of the person with the gun in front of a police officer, in that very moment, the last thing that's on a police officer's mind is, oh, if God forbid I kill this person or injure them, how is their family going to feel? The only thing that's on their mind is, I have the authority to do this, so if I have any reason to, I'm going to do it, and I know I'm not going to get in trouble for it. Why? Because I'm licensed. I'm licensed to kill. I'm licensed to have a gun, and this is my job. So they're probably just thinking on the other side of the gun, if I do shoot this person, it was my job. They gave me reason. I have possible reason to, and possible cause, and all this shit.
They did not give you a reason. That's your own cause and effect.
You need to have a whole hypothesis. Think about this shit. Have a trial, experiment. Think about it. Shit, is this nigga worth like getting shot? Should I? Now you don't even have to think that far, because you shouldn't even have to pull your gun off rip.
Exactly.
Just think about, is this person even worth me giving a ticket to? Is this person even worth me siding? Like, whatever. Like,
that's the thing that we're all upset about, is because they
don't think.
They're going after the smallest things that these people are doing. Oh my gosh, I'm selling CDs in front of a store. Like, that's just minor.
Is not only are they going off of these people, they're going off of these black people. Because 9 times out of 10 times out of 10, if it's a white guy selling CDs, you're just going to say, hey man, get your stuff and get out of here.
Or just look at him like a bum and just tell him to go to the next store.
Boy walking down the street with a hoodie on in Arizona and I'm pretty sure George Zimmerman is not going to try to shoot him. If it's a white guy that's in the car pulling
pull
out
over, ask me if you need a ride.
If it's a white guy pulling out his driver's and registration, I'm pretty sure you're going to spark up a random conversation with him. You're not going to pull out your gun and you shoot him. So that's the other thing that's just like so crazy at the fact that these officers are really taking. It's like
they're not giving them a chance to even explain like themselves at all.
Absolutely no reason to do what you're doing. Absolutely none. Regardless if you have the authority, like Kayla said, regardless if you have a license to kill, you have absolutely no reason to pull out your gun and shoot an innocent, unarmed man at any given point in time.
And mind you, do you not think about the other people who are in the car? What's pissing me off about this whole situation is the lady who for the Facebook Live. His fiance and his daughter in the backseat of the car. Like, did you not think about who's in the car? Let's just say you shot at the car, you hit the daughter. Now what? You shoot in the freaking person that you're going after's kid. Like, what if that was your daughter? What if that was your son? Like, how would you feel? All these people are just going after, oh, he's black. Let me just stereotype him. I'm sure he has a gun. I'm sure he has this and that. Let me just shoot him. No, you can't do that. That's just being stereotypical. And that's what I feel like all these racist cops, because I'm pretty sure everybody has driven through the southern parts of the United States and ran into racism with the cops because it's very common in those states, and that's the trash thing because they are still like, oh, if they're black, mindset. I'm gonna just go after them. I'm just gonna put them in jail. I don't care. I'm just gonna do what they want because I'm white and da da da. Like, no, you can't. Sorry, sir, you're wrong. You have the right to remain fucking silent, nigga. The fuck. I just pissed me. Oh, sorry, y'all. I just went in for a second.
There you go.
Shit.
But it's like to bring it back, like to a step back, like about Trayvon Martin.
Yeah.
Like I feel like this all, of course, it started way back when, like back to slavery times, back to like how people say we come from Africa and all these people steal our jewels and they steal our tradition. They still like taking it back to like more like recent. You have Trayvon Martin, and you have cases like that. You have a case like Eric Garner, which was in July 2014, 43-year-old man in New York chilling on the block, minding his business, selling fake cigarettes. Okay, the man want to
make money. Gotta hustle. The fuck?
And what happened to him? He was unarmed, and he got illegally placed in a chokehold. That's illegal by an officer, and yelled out multiple times that he could not breathe. I believe it was 11 times, and nobody did anything. They watched this man die, and all of these officers, they don't get charged.
People on the street are just watching this, like, they're just standing there. Oh, he just laying flat on the ground. What do we do? It was our fault.
Exactly. Okay. In that situation, who do you call? Because the person that you're supposed to call is the person that's doing this crime.
Exactly, and that's why people are out there like, I don't feel safe, and I don't this and that, because look what it's becoming. Like, look how everyone's looking at it. Like, nobody wants their child to grow up and look up to these people supposedly. Oh, they're police officers. You have to do what they say or else they're going to shoot you. Like, you can't tell your kids that. Like, you can't do that. That's just something that you're not supposed to tell your children. Your children are supposed to be like, oh, maybe one day I want to be a police officer. Oh, maybe one day I want to be a firefighter. But then now they're looking at it like, oh, they're shooting my father. They shooting my uncle. Like, I don't want to be a police officer. You're supposed to set an example, not... Like, that's exactly what Martin Luther King did. He set an example as what not to do for the future, and now we're bringing that shit right back. Like, he had a dream that one day... Finish the sentence, y'all.
Go ahead, Selena.
It's on Google, and when I find a speech, I will read it to y'all, but I don't got it right now. But, y'all could do that on your own time and really understand that and maybe send it to these officers in Baton Rouge, wherever else they're having these shootings at, and have them read it and rewrite it. The fuck? Like, that's what's not... It just pisses me off because nobody's really putting a stop to this, like, crime. And it's just not cool at all. Because now we just have to worry about our future and our family.
You always have to worry about your future and your family. But in the case that you just mentioned earlier, Sade, with them pretty much strangling the guy to death, I feel like what they were thinking in that case was, oh, their life is automatically more important than ours. Like, exactly. Than his. Like, oh, we were called to this block, to whatever, to this guy selling fake CDs. Oh, he's a bum. He's this. He has no education. He's a black man outside hustling. Like, he's trying to make money. They're probably thinking, oh, we don't want him in the streets of our town, in our city, all like this. But, hey, let's strangle him to death.
No.
Whatever happened to talking things out or asking him? Like, you're also, not only are you supposed to be there to protect, but you're supposed to be there to help. Now you're just there harming and scaring. Like,
definitely scaring.
Exactly. And then, like, exactly how you said, the people on the streets who are witnessing, who the hell are they going to call? The police, so his homeboy could come and strangle you, too, for calling?
No. Might as well just call Obama, because we feel like he's going to fix the situation, because that's the only person we feel like can.
Just like Alton Sterling, the police was called on him because a homeless guy was begging him for money. Mm-hmm. And then after him and the homeless guy got into it, he's like, yo, I'm not giving you no money, B. Like, stop asking me.
Straight up. Right? And the homeless guy was what? He was white.
Exactly.
And look, and now he's still homeless probably chilling.
The homeless guy doesn't get in trouble, and the homeless guy doesn't get anything said to him because he's also soliciting, and he's also begging, and he's harassing the black guy. But when the cop gets there, the black guy is automatically wrong.
Because, like I said, they're being stereotypical.
So now, nobody knows what I don't want to call him, the asker, the guy who was asking for the money. Nobody knows, was he armed or whatever he had in his pocket, but now nobody's going to care to check. Because why? Just because Alton was defending himself against him. They said the reason why he called the police on him is because he showed him the gun, like, yo, look, I got a gun, back off.
Oh, that's Philando, yeah.
He's just defending himself at the end of the day. He didn't hurt him. He didn't fucking gun butt him with the gun. Like, he didn't slap him with the shit. He showed it to him like, yo, back off. Like, I'm out here doing the man is at work,
business,
hustling, doing his thing. Like, he doesn't have time for that.
To go back to his wife and kids.
Exactly.
And then, mind you, the police officer already had him down. The man wasn't moving at all. And he just pulls out his gun. Not shot him once, pulled back the trigger again, and then shot him again for what? The man already lifeless right there. Like, what's the whole point of shooting him? To make sure he's dead? Like, just to have confirmation?
And I feel
that's not
like
cool.
Alone, he was out there selling CDs. He could have been selling drugs. He could have been selling people, fucking trafficking people. He could have been not saying just because
he could have stolen from the store.
He could have stole it from
but
the store.
But he was just hustling, like
stolen goods, jewelry that he robbed from somebody's house. Like, the man is out here selling CDs, and I was reading on like more reports, and they were saying like in his city, he was known as a CD man, like the typical nice little, chunky little
big
CD man, always
Albert,
in a good mood, right?
Like, you know, and
but the cops don't realize that.
Gold,
he just has goals. He just got a big red shirt. Oh, I'm blood, this and that, and yeah, that's all they see, and they're just gonna do everything that they can just to get him in trouble, just like cops pretty much do. I feel like
all cops do is they mislead and they misread. Like, they sit there and they go about what they think. Because another example that I have is the little kid, Tamar Rice. You have him. You have Michael Brown, especially. Michael Brown was in August of 2014 in Ferguson, which is actually what started all those riots, which started everything. 18 years old, shot. Then you have Tamar Rice. Same fucking year, I think it was November 2014 in Cleveland, a 12-year-old boy. And why did he get killed? A 12-year-old boy got killed because a stupid police officer mistaken his toy for a gun. His toy gun. Okay, you're a 12-year-old kid.
For what exactly?
For a real gun.
Oh.
What would possibly make you think that
a 12-year-old little boy, a little black boy, excuse us,
minding his business, has a real gun in his hand?
Why? Because they're probably thinking, okay, he's black, he's young, he's probably influenced by a dad or some other black figure in the house that knows how to shoot guns. Therefore, he learned how to shoot a gun.
So got him a toy gun
and is running around with it, in which he can potentially shoot this officer, which accused him of having a gun.
Oh my gosh, I'm so scared of a 12-year-old.
By this young boy because he had a gun, so I automatically thought to shoot him.
Yeah.
And that's not even the only one. I read about this other case actually as we were looking into like this whole discussion, and another one, how Kayla said some of them don't get brought up, some of them don't get a lot of attention, but there is this guy, his name is Romain Bribson, and this was December of 2014 as well, and he lives in Cleveland, and he's 34 years old, and he was shot, he was unarmed, of course, and was shot by a white police officer because they mistaken a bottle of pills for a gun. Wow. And they shot him. How do you mistake? They mistaken it for a weapon.
They must have wanted to kill this man from jump.
They probably
been seen it as an excuse. That's what happened.
What would make you think that a pill bottle, which
that
is
makes
the size
no
of my
sense.
middle finger, is a weapon?
Oh, they feel threatened because he's going inside of his pocket. Oh my gosh, he could be going for his license.
No, I don't even think he was going into his pocket. That's the thing.
Probably just had the pill bottle.
He just had a pill bottle. Like, you have a bottle of pills, nigga. That could be his diabetes pills. My mom has diabetes pills, so God forbid my mom's walking down the street and she's about to take her pills. You're gonna shoot her because you think it's a weapon?
And if just because the police officer is like, oh, excuse me, ma'am, turn around, and she just literally just has the pills in her hands, God forbid, like, no, you can't do that.
Exactly.
Right.
And I know that they just abuse their authority and don't even ask questions or do anything before, because I just had a perfect example from what Sade just said. One time we were just literally outside chilling. Long story short, the police came and they were like harassing some of our homeboys. So me and Sade are just overlooking the situation. Like we're standing probably like 20, I'm not even going to say 20, probably like a good 20, like 15 to 20 feet away from where everything is going down. So right now there's probably like 2 police officers there and they both have our back turned to me and Sade. Exactly.
The hottest city of the freaking world.
Yeah, in the state of Florida, if you guys don't know. But, yeah, we're just standing there and the police officer turns around. He's like, can you guys just walk away or go upstairs from me because I feel threatened. You guys are standing behind me and I don't want to have to turn around and, turn around and do what, sir? Turn around and shoot us?
By 2 girls.
Because 2 girls are standing behind you.
Young woman.
And mind y'all, this is a big, buff, white man. Like, that could take me and Sade probably with one hand behind his back.
But stuff him in a car.
Right? And then the fact that right after he goes, I feel threatened, I don't want to have to turn around and do what?
What are you really about to really do? They didn't make you feel threatened at all.
Those are the little things that I mean when I say that they just take advantage. He knows that he has the authority to tell us to back up, and he knows that if we don't, and then he says something is, boom, easy charge of resisting arrest, like quick and simple, just like that. They just be trying to look to bring people down for no absolute reason.
And it's fucking disgusting.
He could have said anything to us. He could have said, are these your friends? These your family members? Okay, well, wait upstairs until
That's what
done.
I thought.
Or
Like police officers usually do before they make an arrest or anything like that.
Really ready, he was just in the negative area. Like
do some investigation before you fucking do anything.
Our brothers.
And then that reminds me of another story. The girls and I recently we went on a trip to Atlanta. And we were minding our business. We got ready. We're all in a good mood. It's early.
Bro, this was ridiculous.
Six Flags, like, ooh, like 3 cute girls, like, oh yeah, 6 Flags, excited. So we're driving and we get to a stoplight and there's a police officer to our right and he's just staring into the car. Now, mind you, we have a rental, so there's barely any tents. So he's staring into the car and we're just like, okay, so he's staring at me and everyone who knows me knows I'm very sarcastic. So if you're looking at me, like, what are you looking at? Like,
police officer or not?
I'm going to give you a reason. Fuck. So he's staring at me, so I wave at his ass, like, hi, hello, hola, ¿cómo está? Like, how you doing?
Yeah.
The light turns green and Kayla's like, I feel like this guy, or Selena, one of them was like, I feel like this guy's going to try to pull us over. Sure enough, he pulls us over.
For no reason.
For absolutely no reason. So he gets into the car and he's like, oh, I'm pulling you over because your little sister back there looks like she doesn't have her seatbelt on. Our little sister, who is he referring to? Kayla. Kayla's in the backseat. Kayla's the oldest one. She's 21 years old. She's not a little girl. You have absolutely no reason.
And you don't necessarily have to wear your seatbelt in the back seat, little guy.
You see 3 black young ladies in Atlanta, Georgia, and you feel some type of way. So after that, we told him that he, like Kayla, she's of age. She's in the back seat. She does not need her seatbelt on, sir. We know our rules. We know our rights. He leaves. He comes back. He asks for all of our licenses. Then he's like, I need you to step out the car. The driver, can you step out the car?
Mind you, as he's asking for all of our licenses, he's not even being polite. He's like, okay, well, since she wasn't wearing her thing, let me just, check and see if you guys are okay and then send you on your way. No, fuck all that. He skipped that whole part.
So he takes Selena out the car. Then he calls me out the car. Then he calls Kayla out the car. So he calls me and then he's just pretty much saying, oh, well, the car smells like marijuana and I'm going to search the car. I just want you to know if I find anything, all 3 of you guys are going to jail. And I'm just
wrong.
Like, excuse me, sir? And I'm like, okay, first of all, it's a rental. Like, we're not idiots. We don't have any marijuana on us at all. And we're not stupid enough to bring marijuana and smoke in a rental car
or
with
are
no
we?
tints. Like,
no tints is fuck in another state at that.
And even if we are stupid enough,
we'll be smart enough.
And it's not even that. Even if, let's just say, to give us the benefit of the doubt in the situation, even if we are stupid enough to smoke in a car, a rental, because it does happen. People go on vacation and people smoke. If they want to smoke in the car, so be it. Yes, it's illegal, but at the same time, you cannot automatically just say you're going to arrest us because it's actually a law now. You have to cite us depending on how much weed or marijuana, how much drugs, however much it is, we can get a citation. He was so quick to say, oh, you guys are going to jail, off rip. 3 black girls, like, I'm having a wonderful Tuesday evening, like, this is what I wake up for in the morning. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like, he didn't even give us a chance to explain what was going on. He didn't even know that we were from another state. He just automatically assumed we were doing something wrong. He wanted to take us to jail, which is pretty much what's going on now. Like,
and I feel like it all has to do with looks. Like, I feel like it all goes back to how we look because, like, before Sade ended up waving to him, And then before I said I feel like we were going to get pulled over, he was staring at me in the back seat first. And that's when I leaned back to put my seatbelt on. And then that's when he said, like Sade waved to him. So I'm thinking, what was the cause that this man had to pull us over besides me not having my seatbelt on? Because I'm pretty sure he drives past hundreds of cars a day with people in the backseat without their seatbelt on.
And if they do look, they are going to put their seatbelt right back on.
Exactly.
So what was the whole point of you even coming over? It
all goes back to how you look. And when you think about it, I was looking into the Philando Castile case. Mm-hmm. And right before he got pulled over, the cop that ended up shooting him, like, made a call to the dispatcher and was like, oh, okay, because, you know, right before you call, like, pull over somebody exactly, regardless of what it is, you have to call it in and let it be known.
Book it.
I'm about to pull this motherfucker over, right? Mm-hmm. So this is where the part where I just feel like it's so messed up. Like, I'll actually say fucked up. Like, it's so fucked up. Because he pulled them over, and the reason of what his probable cause was, he, like, literally says this exact thing. He goes, I'm going to pull them over. And then after he says that, he goes, I have a probable cause. So then they go, like, you know, what's your probable cause? He goes, it looks like a suspect. Like, that's why. He just looks like a possible suspect.
For what?
Why?
For what?
Why, right? So then you ask yourself, why does he look like a possible suspect? And why does he look like a possible suspect? Because of his wide set nose.
He did